Welcome.
You are watching Line Screw 1. Well, hello folks. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to test and check out a CyberPower 1500. It's one of those UPS power systems designed for home entertainment and computer systems for backup power. You know, I wasn't too sure about these for the last few years. I know they did work as advertised for most people, using them for computers just so they could back up what they're doing and shut their systems down. And over the years I was not convinced that they would make a good backup power system for my RV because they either underperformed or were too expensive. So finally they're making them at that price point where I had to take a look. So I ran out and bought myself a CyberPower 1500. It has two batteries in it. I believe they're both 9 amp hour lead acid batteries. Now the good thing is the batteries are designed to be replaced. I hate buying things that you have to throw out once the batteries are no longer good. There's a simple little panel that slides off and you can replace the batteries. Sometimes you can find the batteries for between $20 and $30 each if you look around. So that's good to know that this unit won't be going in the landfill after the batteries are kaflooey. Keep in mind there are many different manufacturers of these devices and they're all rated at different power amounts. So your results may definitely vary depending on what you buy and what you try to run on them. But for low load wattage appliances, they're pretty good, I think. And I'm going to go through a little test I did and we're going to talk about it. Okay folks, we're going to try something a little different here. I've got a CyberPower 1500. That's a UPS. It's called an uninterruptible power source for computers. Now, if you can get these things cheap, these are another alternative to the Jackery, especially if you're going to run a lot of low load items. Like for me, like right now, I'm just running a 24-inch flat screen television. So I'm going to test this to see how long it will run it. I'm also going to run a 5-watt wireless cell phone charger and see how long both the TV and the charger run for. Now the display is pretty neat here. It gives you a readout and an estimated time left. I'm guessing that that's an optimistic time because we're on battery power now. It's suggesting 430 some odd minutes, which is pretty good. We're going to start a stopwatch and compare the time to see how long it actually is. The entire unit is fully charged and we will see how long it runs. Okay, so we're about 68.5 minutes into the test and it's claiming 340 something minutes left. Bounces around a bit so you can't really tell, but I will say that the estimated time is going down disproportionately faster than the actual time, which is kind of what I expected. But stay tuned, we still got a long ways to go on this test. Okay, we are at 3 hours 38 minutes, so what is that? 218.5 minutes. And on the machine, we're down to 1 bar of power on the capacity and 72, 76, well, it keeps bouncing around, 70 something minutes. So let's do a little estimation on how much power we got from this. And as you can kind of tell, the power estimator was always optimistic and didn't reflect true power consumption. 1 minute left. Oh, and I'm still running the TV and the charger. Should go into shutdown mode any second. And there we go. It did what it's supposed to do. Shut itself down, save the battery. Okay, so it appears that it will run my 24-inch smart television and a 5-watt cell phone induction charger for 5 hours and 1 minute. Your results, of course, may vary on your own equipment. Now, there's been a lot of reports on these CyberPowers not being able to be charged from a generator, so I had to go out and test it myself. I've got a small Generac pure sine generator, and I plugged it in to see if it would charge, and it does. So again, check your generator. Your results may vary. Now this CyberPower 1500 gives the typical battery performance that you would expect with a lead acid battery, meaning that if the temperature is right and it's a low load, you will get far more power out of it than if you try to pull a lot of electricity out of it quickly. That's just the nature of the beast with lead acid batteries. Now let's talk about a few things that I do like about this. I like that it has USB ports. I like that it has the capacity to run things up to 900 watts, but I do not recommend you do so. If you plugged in a space heater that was rated at below 900 watts, expect this entire battery bank to be dead within less than a half hour. In fact, you risk damaging the entire equipment if you overload it, so don't do it. I did it so you didn't have to do it. I also like the fact that it has 5 plug-ins in the back that you can run and use this as a backup power system. Keep in mind, if you plug it in to the surge side only, it will not run anything because those plugs are not connected to the battery. I suspect a few people who were a bit naive when they tried it and they plugged it into the surge side and they discovered it wouldn't run anything, probably didn't read the instructions or were not paying attention. Certainly with many of these types of products, if the batteries are old stock or have been sitting on the shelf for a while, performance may not be up to par. So check your unit, run it through a few cycles before you decide you want to keep it. Otherwise, return it. But I think mine is good to go, and I think I'm going to trust it on the road. I also really like the display. It's very clear, you can read it across the room, and it'll give you an estimate of what time you do have left. I gotta warn you that the time left on the display in terms of minutes to go is very optimistic. It generally starts out at about 15% optimistic and quickly goes down to 20 and then 30% optimistic. So always keep in mind that the amount of minutes left on your equipment is just an estimation. Expect a total performance of about 30% less than what the display indicates. Now, as for cost, I paid around $150 US. These type of devices go on sale from time to time. If you're interested in using this for backup power, try to get the biggest unit possible for the least amount of money. And would I recommend this CyberPower 1500? Yes, I would. I paid for this myself. This is not a paid endorsement. If you're going to use it for a CPAP machine, make sure it's a very low wattage rated CPAP machine or it may not run your equipment all night. I do believe CyberPower does sell a more expensive medical grade equipment that is rated higher that you might want to check out if you're really interested in having one of these for something that is absolutely medical critical for backup power.
I got you, I got you.